One of the most brutal combinations, in my opinion, is when Chimo will trap an enemy inside of a wall of force, and then Aoife will place a moonbeam directly on top of them and straight up microwave them. So today I'm designing Aoife, another member of our D&D party, and I'm going to break down some of the choices I made behind her appearance, her personality, some funny campaign moments. So going into it, Aoife is a 5'6" Genasi and a Wildfire Druid. So like personality wise, she has a very will get the job done, but there's definitely going to be some complaints along the way. Attitude, like a kind of I'm over this. Like she's normally very calm, confident, composed, but she constantly carries the expression of someone who's always like already explained why this plan is a bad idea and nobody listens. So she has like this partially annoyed face, and our party tends to operate on instinct, questionable judgment, and whatever Chimo's attention happens to land on that day. So Aoife is usually the person attempting to bring some kind of logic back into the conversation, but she doesn't hesitate when walking into danger. And over the course of the campaign, she's learned to ask questions first and blow up things second, most of the time. So Aoife's a druid, but she's not the normal druid who walks around covered in leaves and moss or whatever ragtag clothes. She's very practical. She wears good traveling clothes, half-plate armor, because she expects to be close enough to the danger that she needs the protection. And she's collected several magical staffs throughout the campaign, although calling any one of them like her main weapon is a little misleading because her actual weapon is just magic that she has plenty of. Aoife is technically one of our primary or our only healer. But that doesn't mean she stands at the back of the party waiting for somebody to get hurt. In combat, she's usually at her best when there's a bunch of enemies on the field and she doesn't have to just attack one target, and she can control where everyone is allowed to move. So, controlling nature, roots and vines bursting out of the floor, throwing rocks at people, and just utter chaos for the enemy. And then once somebody's restrained, the rest of us are pretty happy to take advantage of it. One of the most brutal combinations, in my opinion, is when Chimo will trap an enemy inside of a wall of force, and then Aoife will place a moonbeam directly on top of them and straight up microwave them. And our dungeon master is usually pretty appreciative when we do that. So, like most druids... Another one, so like most druids, Aoife can wild shape and transform into animals, and it's extremely useful for situations, except for one encounter where we were underwater and Aoife decided to transform into a giant octopus. Seems like a good idea. Unfortunately, the creatures that came up to attack us were also giant octopuses, octopi. And so Tuli and all her barbarian intelligence got a little confused on which octopus is our friend and which is not, and after a poor intelligence check, accidentally attacks the wrong octopus. Funny part about Aoife's personality is that beneath all the irritation, she's probably one of the more caring members of the party. She helps Tuli rescue animals, even though rescue is up to interpretation. She's also become responsible for a group of orphan baby kobolds who live in our town. So for someone who acts like every additional responsibility is inconvenient, she's accumulated a surprising number of creatures that depend on her. So she may look exhausted, complain, remind everyone that this was not part of the plan. She'll still take care of them. So this is what I wanted the final design to communicate. Aoife might question every terrible decision our party makes, heal us while explaining exactly why the injury was our own fault, and occasionally get punched by a confused barbarian while disguised as an octopus. But when everything falls apart, she's also the one who makes sure everyone survives long enough to make another terrible decision next week. So our campaign This campaign is actually coming to a conclusion. I still have more characters of the party to introduce, and if you want to see these adventures happen live, our Dungeon Master Doom streams our sessions Friday nights at 8 PM Eastern on Twitch. I'll leave the link in the description. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next character design.